Hi, and welcome to a demo of Elastic GPU Service from Avacia. I'm going to walk through our Elastic GPU Service dashboards and show you how we dynamically allocate GPUs to multiple workspaces and teams across Kubernetes clusters. The first thing you'll notice on our dashboard, we have a high-level heads-up view of all of the resources that are currently assigned to Elastic GPU Service. You can see that there are 5 total GPUs in the system, and currently all 5 of those GPUs are allocated to various jobs. As we move to the right and look at GPU utilization, the utilization is currently running about 64% of the total capacity of the system. That means we're actually wasting about 36% of the GPUs that we have. As we continue to the right, we can start to see which teams are more efficiently or less efficiently using their GPUs. The Pepsi team is using about 92% of their GPUs, so that's pretty good. The Coke team is using almost 60%. Not bad, but some room for improvement. And Team B is way behind with only 16% of the GPUs being utilized. We probably need to speak to Team B to see if they can improve their utilization or make better use of their GPUs or return some of the resources back to be used by others. Continuing, we can see our workload distribution by GPUs. These are actual jobs running on the GPUs and gives a good visibility to which jobs are assigned to GPUs. Then we get a heads-up display of the GPU utilization by GPU. So we can see that these H100 GPUs are running a little bit lower, maybe 19% utilization. There's another 19% H100. But this RTX 4000 is running about 90% utilization. So it's another way to go through my inventory of GPUs and discover which GPUs are being used to the best and which GPUs have room for improvement. We also look at various priorities of jobs that are currently running in the system. And this will become important as we look to how we can take over capacity that may be not used to its best extent or needs to be reprioritized to different jobs. Now, not only can we look at the actual workload allocation and utilization, we can look at the cost that's associated with all of these workloads. So if I look at the month to date, I can see that we've spent about $607 on GPUs so far this month. Of that, about $169 was actually allocated, meaning that I wasted about $438 worth of GPUs because I hadn't allocated those to jobs. This is a big signal for CIO leaders to get a handle on their current GPU spend and how much of it is being put to good use. Now, even within that $169, if I further break it down and look at the wastage of what part of that $169 did I actually use versus not, well, it turns out this setup only used about $17 worth of that entire $607 allocation. That represents a large wastage and definitely room for improvement. I can again look at the different teams and how much of that total did they use on a team-by-team basis. I can look at the categories of my cost, whether that was CPUs or GPUs. I can look at trend analysis over time to see how my spend varied since the beginning of the month or earlier in the month. And I can also get a very granular look on a per workload basis as to which workloads consumed the most cost on a given month. So this first job was using almost $9, was using $9.24, whereas some of the other ones are using $1.75 and $1.27. This is a level of visibility that just doesn't exist out there in terms of utilization and really tying it back to an individual job to get a sense of what that cost is for that specific job.